I mean, if there's any secret, I think, in trading, short-term trading, it's just to see how long or how quickly it takes for that position to get away from the battleground of your entry point.
The trades that really produced for me my trading profits over the years, 20% of the trades that I made money on. Was there anything unique about those trades? And it quickly becomes apparent that there is. They tend to be trades that work right away, and they never look back. They break out and they don't hesitate. I mean, that doesn't mean to say that, I've got a huge profit at the end of day 1 or 2 or 3, but it's at least not a trade that puts me into trouble.
An interview with David Ryan. Stocks should be at a profit the first day you buy them. In fact, having a profit on the first day is one of the best indicators that you're going to make money on the trade.
Wealthy traders, they are incredibly impatient with losers, cutting their losses immediately. Some of them, when they go 2-3 ticks against them, they're out. And if you continually do this, if this is all you do, out of the next 20 things I'm going to talk about, if all you do is immediately cut a loser and let your winners go to their full potential, you will have gone 80% of the way there to doing what wealthy traders do. It's extremely important.
You want to be knocked out fast. Now, I know people get frustrated. They buy the stock and boom, it turns around and they're out right away. That's exactly what you want. You want to know right away if you're wrong. So now you can move to something else and you're not wasting time. If I sat in this stock for 6 months and it didn't go anywhere and then stopped me out, well, I just wasted 6 months of time to invest. So that's one of the reasons why you want to time your trades as best as possible and know if you're right. Immediately know I'm right or I'm wrong, and gauge along the way, if things are acting normal or not. So you can, if it's not acting right and it's not making you money, you move on. The only good stock is a stock that's going up.
Guy that traded for Cargill, he had a trading rule that he drilled into me, and that is you never take a loss home on a Friday. If you've got a loss in a position on a Friday, you get out of it without any question whatsoever. You get out of a trade. And he even took it a step further, and he didn't like taking any trades home that were losers on any given night. And he was a position trader. He wasn't a day trader. He'd take position an extensive period of time, but he placed a lot of emphasis on timing. And if your timing's not right, your trade's not right.
So as a trader, traders have the toughest time taking losses because psychologically there's a lot of shame, regret, and things like that can get drudged up with losses. But remember, if you're going to do this, your job is to kill your trades that are not working. Every Friday I have a ritual. Any trades that are not positive, I just cut them loose. I can always get back into them on Monday, but the best loss to take is the first one.
One of my early mentors, Jake Bernstein. You know Jake?
I don't.
I mean, he's written 40, 50 books on the markets. He's been around for 50 years. He's on the board of directors of the Foundation for the Study of Cycles with me. But he tells a great story about talking to some cattle ranchers down in Alabama in the 70s. They take him to introduce him to the best trader that they know. And this guy is using pendulums over the stock ticker page in the newspaper. Jake's like, "Is there anything else you're doing?" And he says, "Well, there is one thing, but it's not that important." And Jake's like, "Well, what is it?" And he says, "Well, if a stock is down in the first 3 days after I buy it, then I get rid of it."
I actually attended a seminar with Bill and David. It was like it was right in the beginning too, because there was like 25 people in the room. No one even knew about them at the time. Dave said something, and I never forgot it, and I've been living with this principle ever since. He said the best thing that I know I'm going to have a profit in the stock is that I'm up right away on it. Usually the best names and the biggest gains that I've made are profitable right away. And I found that when I look back, because I keep a record of all the trades that I've made, and we do a lot of post analysis, we find that that's so true. That when the stock gives you a hard time from the beginning, it usually ends up being a poor performer. And when they're hard to buy and they just come out and you wish you bought more. This is a perfect example where you see just came out and it was up I held on to this stock for quite a bit. I didn't make the full 147%, but I made a big move. It was close to 100%.
I've always said that the best stocks I own are the ones that I've timed them so well. I've gotten the buy point down to such an exact spot that when I buy a stock, in most cases, by the end of the day, that stock should be higher. And I usually cannot live with a stock or live with a loss for too long. I mean, even days I start getting a little nervous that, maybe the stock, the timing wasn't right, or that I didn't buy the right stock. And so the best stocks for me are always the ones where the timing is, I'm buying it coming right out of a proper base, and the stock starts taking off and goes.